Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. It's not Monday night, it's Tuesday night, it's 7:30. We always go live on Monday nights at 7:30, but obviously at the moment there's lots of Leicester City matches on Monday, so bear with us while we cover these off on Tuesdays. My name's Phil. This is Leicester Fan TV. There is so much to talk about. Where do you want to start? Obviously, Leicester lost yesterday at Fulham 5-3. We did a show straight at full time yesterday. Pretty raw, but we want your views. We want your comments in the next 30 minutes. What do you want to talk about? We still got a chance. All the results went against us yesterday. Let us know what you think to the current situation at Leicester City. Can we escape? Got to beat Liverpool.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, it's me and you for the next 30 minutes. What do you want to talk about? Your views count. This is what it is. This is what a Fanzone show is all about. Let me know what you want to talk about. I've shared the link in the comments already, so if you want to come on and give me a bit of views, a bit of comments, do feel free to come on and do that as well. But really, what I want is your comments, your views. Andy says here, Andy Meadows says, I'm trying so hard to be optimistic, but in my heart, I think we are down. Andy's feeling down. I'm feeling down. Are you feeling down? I still, trust me, I still think we can go and beat Liverpool on Monday. It's just Leicester, isn't it? That we could beat Liverpool on Monday. Come on, you're all thinking it in the back of your mind. You're all going, do you know what? You watch us. What, mate? We'll go and watch. We'll go and beat Liverpool on Monday. You watch it. Because you know what? We could beat Liverpool on Monday and then we could F it up against West Ham on the last day of the season. You know it. I know it. This is Leicester. It's not over yet. Craig says, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we stay up, but just hope we have a fight left in us. There was a bit of fight at times yesterday, a little bit, but I tell you what, Fulham looked so relaxed playing the ball around yesterday. And they almost looked too relaxed, which is where I think some of those goals came from. Wayne says yesterday it was a hard watch. It really was a hard watch yesterday. Ray, don't give up, Ray. Not just yet. Ray says our season is done now. I reckon championship next season. But anything can happen. So Ray saying he's given up, but you never know. You never know, Ray. Honestly. I'm sure you guys, same as me, that was not a great result for Leicester yesterday, was it? And then you probably settle down to think, well, let's watch a bit of Everton at Brighton. Come on, Brighton. Brighton are too good for Everton. Brighton are too good. I bet you said it. I bet you said Brighton will beat Everton. They'll do. And then, what was it, about 3-0 up in the first 20 minutes? It was like, oh my goodness me. Jason says no chance. Jason, there's always a chance. There's still a chance. Facebook, if you're in the Facebook group, anyway, you can do something so we can see who it is. He says, I know we've got 3 games left, Bill, but I don't see us winning any of them. No fight, no togetherness. Let's hope something changes. I agree. I don't see it. I genuinely don't see it. Now, listen, you've watched a lot of Leicester. Many, and most of you will probably remember the 2008 season when we got relegated down to League One. It had been coming for a couple of years in 2008. But in the end, that season, you kept thinking, Leicester are going to turn up. They're going to get us out of it. And I've talked to you about that Sheffield Wednesday game at home, the last but one game, where we had Sheffield Wednesday at home in 2008. This is where Leicester Fan TV started it. We called it 100% LCFC. 10,000 blue balloons we took to the King Power Stadium. Some of you might remember it. Against Sheffield Wednesday. And we were like, me and John O'Wade, we were like, we've got to get something to happen at this match. And we were watching it. I think we lost 3-2 in the end. And it was just like, oh, yeah. And then it was Stoke the week after, and you know the rest. But this season's got a bit of the feeling of that, where you just think, come on, Leicester. Leicester can beat Liverpool. The real Leicester we know could pull one out. Damon says, have I dropped the usual Leicester jacket in protest? Do you know what? I sort of, Damon. Sort of, because it's just over there. But I was a bit. There was all the fans singing, you're not fit to wear the shirt. Do you know what? I'm not. Everybody's got their right. I'm not sure at half time as that would help anything yesterday. I just feel a bit like, oh, do you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to wear the jacket tonight. I don't know why. I just feel a bit out of it. Gareth says here, we look one of the poorest sides down there. Gareth, I'm afraid you are right. I said it against Everton. I said it against Leeds. I've said it against Southampton away. There's lots of things. We are not a good-looking side. People keep saying to me, they've been saying it all season, but look at the quality. Look at the quality. Again, check the videos back. That's what frustrated me under Brendan Rodgers. And I think it was Maddison as well coming out and saying it. Madders had a go at Rob Tanner on Twitter. We're too good. Don't have a go at us. It's been a very dangerous mental attitude, I think, if you ask me this season. Adrian says we are down. There is no fight or passion in any of them. Do you agree with what Adrian's saying there? There's no fight. There's a little bit of fight. I think Cags has got some fight. God knows why. God knows why Cags has got any fight in him, because after how he's been treated, I wouldn't blame him for not bothering, but he actually looks out of everybody the one with the fight. Jamie says it's finished. Unfortunately, they're not interested. Listen, we've shared a few bits that somebody shared to me about players' wages. We've popped. You can't see that, can you? I popped it on TikTok. We've put it in some. I think it's on Twitter as well. There's players here. Some of them you'd say have earned it. Jamie Vardy's on a lot of money. He's done everything with us. You wouldn't begrudge that. But there is definitely some players in there. You look at the wage bill and you go, Sumari, 83 grand a week. A week. That's a week. Oh dear. Daka on 79. Right, Ryan Bertrand. Now, Ryan Bertrand apparently plays for Leicester City. Apparently, he's part of our team. I've checked him out. He's made 4 appearances in 2 years with Leicester. Anyway, 78 grand a week. Nice if you can get it. And don't forget that was a week, not a year, not 2 years. I know most of us, 78 grand would do us like 2 years' wages. Trust me, not a week. Honestly, I'd pay money to be in the Leicester squad for a day for charity, as you all would as well. Dorco says, no point sitting back anymore. Attack. We've got to beat Liverpool. Dean says, how can we beat Liverpool, Phil? We can't beat Southampton, Bournemouth, Leeds and Fulham or Everton. I know, Dean, but it's Leicester. You've got to believe. I believe we can beat Liverpool. I don't know if I believe it, but I've seen magic before. You've seen it. So that's why I probably believe it's in there. I'm going to add Imran in just for a minute. Imran's clicked on the link. Imran.
How's it going?
Good, mate. Good. You've seen magic, haven't you, from Leicester?
You've seen
it. So we could beat Liverpool.
No, we could beat Liverpool, but I just want to talk about yesterday's game, because I was there at Fulham. And the crowd, the crowd, I mean, look, even I sang it at the end, like towards half time, you're not fit enough to wear the shirt or whatever it was. And I agree with it, because
I just thought before half time that was a big shout for fans to go, you're not fit to wear the shirt. I'm not calling fans, because trust me, I've done it. Peterborough away and all that. I've been there, but
yeah, and I think Christensen, as they were walking off at half time, Christensen came across to us and started going, "Come on, give it all of that," and everyone just booed at him, because it was like, we've given it all our all. I mean, before the game, the atmosphere was terrific. The Leicester fans were singing. It was a good atmosphere. And then we get off to a start like that. Everson makes a terrible mistake in my eyes. He should be claiming that ball.
I think it was a mistake.
Yeah, and then it sets the tone for the rest of the game. Even the second goal, I think he should have saved it. He stretched out his leg. I don't think his positioning was quite right. But look, I don't want to blame the goalkeeper. I just want to pick on the defense and the midfield. There's been a lot of discussion on these groups saying we can't defend, we're conceding too many goals, and yeah, we're right. But why is that happening, Phil? It's happening because our midfield are just not fit enough to track back. Harvey Barnes scored 2 goals yesterday. Statistically, you'd say, oh, he's got 2 goals again. He's our top goal scorer. But he didn't do anything in the whole game. He didn't do nothing. He scored the 2 goals, but didn't track back, didn't help Christensen at all. Sumare and Tielemans, they don't go back, they don't track back. And I think that's the problem. I think we've not got the legs in the midfield. Teams play straight through us, and then we say, "Oh, we can't defend." That's because the midfield is not helping them. Maddison was over trying. I think he had an all right game, Maddison. But when you over try, sometimes I think you kind of, you're not playing your natural game. So I think he's over trying at times, and then that quality kind of goes missing. But yeah, I just want to pick on that midfield and say, look, against Liverpool, I know it's not going to happen, but if we play Mendy and then Didi and ask them just to win the balls back and just play a simple ball and then just kick it long down the sides to Daka, Barnes, Vardy, and use the pace, that's the only way we're going to beat Liverpool's press, is if we can try to out-muscle them in that midfield. Because Tielemans, I'm sorry, he just don't look interested. Soumare as well. He's a good player, but he makes those silly mistakes, didn't he? The second goal came from him. Giving away the ball quite cheaply.
He's not a good player, man.
Yeah, I mean, come on, he did turn into Patrick Vieira against Wolves second half, didn't he?
Yeah, that's great. He had 40 decent minutes and looked like and showed. Hang on. Yeah, hang on. Let's just check. Yeah. Yeah, 83 grand a week. Yeah. Yeah. For 40 minutes, he looked like. Listen, Imran, listen, I think there's a great. Adam Ward says here, and I know this is ridiculous, but Adam says pick 11 fans from the crowd, including himself, and I can guarantee we put in more fight and passion than what these have recently. Doesn't matter if we played off the park, we want fight and passion. That is crazy talk from Adam, because it's never going to happen. But do you know what, Imran? I'd rather see 11. I'd rather have a week's. Let's pick 11 fans who could actually run around for 90 minutes, because I'd rather watch it than
Phil,
that.
You know what?
To that extent, go on, Imran, go on.
No, I was going to say Adam's comment is totally right. Like, I could pick, like, I saw fans yesterday that, this is their religion, right? They go and follow their team home and away, like myself, right? We love this club, and they'd run through brick walls for this club. But unfortunately, I just don't see, I'd say 5-6 of our players, they've just down tools. Like Castagna yesterday, I like Castagna, but he didn't look at it yesterday.
I mean, Imran, listen, sometimes I know that people from the club actually watch Leicester Fan TV. I know that happens. I'm not saying they are now at all. But if somebody is from the club watching, I don't want to be the one to go in the dressing room particularly, but Adam could go in, Imran, you could go in. I wouldn't mind a couple of fans just going in before the Liverpool game. I wouldn't mind. I'd almost offer it out to Dean Smith that a couple of fans to go in there, because he's got John Terry and he's got Shaky. They've got all the professional. But it wouldn't hurt, Imran, if maybe a couple of fans were allowed into the change rooms calmly before the game to try and explain why even the players who are going to leave the club, clearly, in 3 games' time, could put a shift in.
No, precisely. I think that's what they need.
You'd go in, wouldn't you, Imran? You'd go in. What would you tell them? What would you tell them? What would you tell the players before kickoff?
I'd tell them to have a bit of balls, have a bit of fight about yourselves. You're not playing for the money. You're playing for this club. You're playing for this badge that we love so much. Can you see it? This golden badge now, right? You should be playing for the shirt. And like I play a bit of 5-a-side. I used to play a lot of 11-a-side back in the day, but I missed a penalty once in a semi-final, Phil, and it hurt me. All right, I couldn't sleep for 2 weeks. These players don't give a toss. They don't give a toss. Like I know yesterday, Vardy's penalty. It happens. He hit it in the corner. No comment on Vardy, but it should hurt you. When you lose, when you come off that pitch. And Phil, Fulham have got nothing to play for. They had nothing. I thought yesterday that we'd be scrapping, right? We'd be winning those 50-50s. We'd be, that intensity would be there. But that first half, it was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. There were some fans fighting amongst. I mean, it just happened near me. Some fans just left, and other fans were like, "Oh, you're not real fans. Why are you leaving now?" And there was a little squabble in the crowd. But it's just we're just a club in turmoil at the moment. I think going back to the beginning of the season, losing Schmeichel was a huge blow, wasn't it? I didn't know the impact of that would be so huge, because you look at yesterday, that first goal would never have gone in.
Imran, again, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But again, I keep saying recently, the beauty of what we do on Leicester Fan TV is you can go back and see what you were saying and what I was saying. As soon as Casper left, I said before the season started in a video, we're not starting the season with two keepers, one who's been on the subs bench for 10 years at Liverpool and Leicester, and the other one who's played a bit of Championship football. We're not starting a Premier League season like that, are we?
And we did.
And we did.
Yeah. Yep. And then
I don't work football for a job. I don't get paid 78 grand a year, a week.
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. And the other thing I put on Facebook the other day yesterday was our midfield, right? I think Brendan coached them to pass. And because of that, I think you just naturally brainwash them not to run, because the first instinct is to pass. So I don't see Ndidi like winning the ball back as much as he used to back in the day, you know, when he was a well beater. I just don't see that running. So now other teams are doing it, and we're a soft touch, unfortunately, in the middle of the park. We just get, I mean, at Everton, same thing happened. McNeil had the whole midfield to himself and Decore. They outfought us, and they should have won that game. And yesterday, same thing. Yeah, we score goals, but I just think our midfield is just full of pansies at the moment, and they just need to be fighting. And I think Mendy, Phil, I don't know what you think, but Mendy has to start with Ndidi.
Well, where is he? Where's Mendy?
I don't know.
What does there's some players where you go, what does Mendy do to managers to put him off? Imran, before I let you go, because Ross wants to come on as well.
Sure.
And again, I'm going to put this out there. Imran, would you go into the changing rooms before the game against Liverpool?
100%.
Well, there you go. Dean Smith, John Terry, Shaky, anybody watching at the club, Imran will go in and speak calmly, just like he has done. You've seen him on camera, and tell the players what it means, because I think they need to see it, Imran. So there's one person who'd go in. Imran, thanks so much for joining us,
I'll wait for the call from the club.
Well, indeed, it's an open offer. I kid you not. Yeah. And thanks, Imran.
Take care.
Imran would go in. I'm going to add Ross in a minute and see what he'd say, because he's another lifelong Leicester fan. Dodger says, fed up of seeing KDH on the bench. He's been one of the lads who actually put in a shift every game that's been played. Alan says, Top looked in shock at what he witnessed at Fulham. His lack of effort from the team is dragging the whole club and fan base down. Hitesh says he agrees with Imran 100% on the money. Sonny says, no fight, no passion, no nothing, completely hopeless in there. The council says Everson had a shocker yesterday. He did. To blame for at least 2 of the goals. Casper knew more than he has said so far. I agree, Mark. If you watch the end, after the Everton game, I came back and watched the TV, and Casper was really interesting at the end of that, what he said. Still talking as though he's a Leicester player. What on earth went on that he went 4 days before the season? I've got no idea. Keep getting your views and your comments in. The big thing I want to ask you, and I haven't planned this, but listen, I genuinely think Dean Smith should let 1 or 2 fans into the changing rooms calmly before the game against Liverpool to G up the players and ask them what and tell them what it means and why, as fans, because I think they've got too protected from the fans potentially. A bit of the new training ground. I don't think they perhaps see what goes on. I'm going to add Ross in. Ross, firstly, Ross, thanks, mate, yesterday for doing the watch along. If you didn't see it, Ross was there with his dad and his son, 3 generations of Leicester fans. What's it mean, Ross, to be 3 generations of Leicester fans watching that?
Obviously, it was great that we all watched it together. But that was for the first 20 minutes, and that were it. And that was the amount of times I said yesterday, if you go back and watch it, the amount of times I said of Fulham on the attack again, or on that left-hand side. Because Will.i.am, I did absolute blinder. He was their best player. You know, how on earth he didn't score more than a couple of goals? And let's be honest, if you notice, every goal apart from Tom Kearney's second goal, all in the bottom right corner. If you ever noticed that. I noticed that. The first goal, obviously, Everson, I don't know what he was doing. Second goal, terrible from Faz and Tielemans. Third goal was just, Sumari losing the ball, sorry, for the second goal, sorry. Third goal was Faz's fault. Fourth goal, it just gets worse. And what it means to be a Leicester fan, obviously, you asked Imran just then, like, you know, I was telling Charlie earlier, I've been going since I was 3 years old. You know, my first game, we lost to Middlesbrough 3-1 when Juninho tore us a new limb. But then, obviously, Kamark still got in his pocket the League Cup game a month later.
I mean, Jason says here, Jason Mills. Hi, Jason. Please, Jason, I'll put the link on again if Jason wants to come on, and indeed anybody else. But Jason says here, for as a good idea it is to allow fans into the dressing room, it'll never happen. Well, Jason, it has happened before at other clubs. That has happened, that they've let fans in. And in all honesty, if that's what our players need to motivate them, then not a single one of them should be wearing the shirt again. But Jason, what I want to say to you is I think it might need something a little bit out of the ordinary, and some clubs have let fans into the changing rooms before a big match like this, because many, Ross, of these players won't be here next season. Whether we stay up or go down, they're gone. But you will be here, and I will be here. Jason will be here. Imran will be here. Everybody watching this will be a Leicester fan, whatever league we're in next year. We've been up, we've been down, we've been down. Do
you know Ross, what though? We've not been relegated. Yeah, 15 years since the last time we were relegated in general.
If you were allowed Ross into the changing rooms before the game, to calmly talk to the players, what would you say now to them if you stood in the middle of that changing room?
Well, first off, I'd take my dad in as well as Charlie, and obviously, in the day, my dad's obviously seen a lot since he's 66 years old. He's seen obviously a lot of heartbreaks from 90s before I was born, all the playoff heartaches and everything, and obviously, since Charlie's been born, we've won the Premier League and the FA Cup and the League Cup, and the Community Shield. So, I mean, it means a lot to me that my club. I mean, obviously, I wasn't officially born in Leicester. I was unfortunately born in Worksop. But my mum and my dad took me to a game when I was 3, and I've never looked back. And obviously, I always got picked on at school, and always left odd one out just because I wanted to be like Muzzy, is it? Everyone else wanted to be like Gerrards and your Thierry Henrys. I always wanted to be Muzzy, is it? That's always has been the case. And I've seen us relegated. I remember being at Blackburn away in 2004, Dabby's last own goal. We were all but relegated. We weren't relegated that day. We were the week after against Charlton. Now, me and my dad, we were the last out of the stadium. I just couldn't stop crying. I was just sat there on my seat at the front, just out. I could not stop crying. I was in tears. I was just upset. And then Stoke, when we got relegated to League One, I was in the pub with my dad, and I just went to the drop to the floor. And now it could happen, but this time I'm actually going to be at a game where we could officially be relegated before Newcastle. I'm going to Newcastle Monday night, and because it's it could well be our last Premier League game for at least a year, and it's painful. It really is painful. I mean, I know I joke about we're going to be playing Rotherham next season. It's my local game, 20-minute bus ride, but I don't want to be playing Rotherham next season. I want to be playing like Man U. I want to play Sheffield United. I want to play, I want to play Chelsea and Liverpool. I want to be in the big leagues. That's where we want to be. No disregard to the Championship. We were there for years. Don't get me wrong. We love that. We thrived on it. We got promoted and stuff. But you want to be in the big leagues. You want to be competing. You want to get in the top 6, top 4, top 8, win a trophy, domestic trophy properly. And this season, the loss of Schmeichel has really, really damaged. I mean, obviously, don't blame Casper for leaving. Do you know, end of the day, if you made 149 consecutive appearances in a row and you're one off the landmark 150, and then you get dropped for a week and then get put back in, I'd be going out the door.
So Ross, I hear everything you're saying, Ross. But Adam says, "Come on, just sum it up. What if the players watch this video now, or you're in that change rooms? What would you say to them? In a short thing, Ross.
In a short term, I would tell them, get your head out your backsides in a nice way. End of the day, you've got three cup finals left. It's more than cup finals. You're fighting for your lives, and you're going to let everybody down. Whether you leave or go, Leicester fans will remember you either as a hero or as a villain. And if you don't want to be known as a villain, I suggest you get a rocket up your arse and play the game of your lives. Because against Liverpool, these last few times we played at home against Liverpool, we've got a good results against them. Last season we beat them 1-0. The season before we beat them 3-1. A couple of years ago we beat them 3-1 again, 2-0. So we've actually done really well against Liverpool at home. So I'm hoping they can take that momentum from last season when we won 1-0. We cost them the Premier League title, whether they like it or not. Lookman scored that goal. Salah missed the penalty. Why can't we do? And that was a Monday night, I think it was. I think it was a night game because it was on Amazon Prime. We won 1-0. So why can't we do it again?
Ross, I think it just says he
Standard.
lives in London. He's been through the same sort of thing as you, being the only Leicester fans in school. Ross, you just said something there, which I want to ask people about, because Ross is spot on, and that is what you see. That only a fan could say that to a player is, if you keep us up. I'm going to say a name to you, Ross. You might be too young to know when I say Tony James.
Do you know what's funny? I was on the bus the other day, and someone knows Tony James. He was talking to me.
So Tony James, I've tried to get on Leicester Fan TV for years, and I can't get him to come on. But Tony James, for many Leicester, is an all-time legend, but just for one goal in one game.
Yeah.
One goal, one game, club legend, Tony James. Somebody could do that this season. Ross, I'm going to let you go, mate. Thanks so much for joining us. And thanks again, Ross, for yourself, your dad and Charlie yesterday. No
problem at all. We really enjoyed it. But one thing I was gutted about when he kept on saying we were rubbish yesterday. And I don't want Charlie to see us get relegated. You know,
no, it's tough.
Before we turned one, we won the Premier League. What a great birthday present that was. And that was 7 years ago. He's turning 8 in June, and I don't want to see a relegation at all. But if it happens, and we deserve to go down. But we'll have to fight. We've got to fight.
It's not over yet, Ross. It's not over yet, mate.
It's not over. But at the end of the day, you know, these 3 games coming up, they're either going to be heroes or villains. And if they want to leave Leicester on a high, be a hero. Be a hero.
Yeah. Ross, thank you so much, mate. We'll see you soon.
Right, no worries. Take care.
Thanks, Ross. Ross is a legend in his own front room, as are us all. Jason's clicked on the link. Jason, just settle yourself down and get a steady camera, and I'll add you in, please. That would be great. Adam says, we are done. Let it sink in now. I'm not, Adam, because it's not done yet. Honestly, as ridiculous as it is, we can still stay up. I'm not saying for a second we're going to beat Liverpool, we're going to beat Newcastle, we're going to beat West Ham. But if you did win 3 on the spin, you'd stay up. Listen, I agree. I think we have to beat Liverpool. I think now, everything else, you have to beat Liverpool. Scott says, love your optimism in there. I'm not going to give up yet, and neither are you, Scott. Not yet. But something needs to happen. We have a team too similar to Peter Taylor's. I agree, Chris. Leaders remove bad buys and players that are mentally weak. We've not got long left, but Jason, I'm going to add in. Jason, good evening. How are you?
Oh, mate, you're right.
Yeah, good, Jason. I'll sort of pose the question, and I've been deadly honest about it. Should Shaky, John Terry, and Dean Smith let a couple of fans who would behave responsibly go into the change rooms and just explain what it means to be a Leicester fan and why they'd like to see a little bit more on the pitch? And if that was you, Jason, what would you say?
Well, first things first. I mean, you could have the fans going in there saying, you know, trying to pick the players up and give them some advice, if you like. But I just think I've been saying it for weeks and weeks now. We have not got players mentally with the mental ability to get us out of this mess, or even to have the fight amongst them to get out of it. But, I mean, that's been pretty evident in the last few games. Myself, if I was in there, I don't really think, in all honesty, I could look any one of them square in the eye after the way they performed this season. It's just been a shit show from start to finish. I turned off after 20 minutes against Fulham. I went and had some dinner with a girlfriend. I was just like, it was horrific.
It was that bad. It was that bad that Jason went off and spent time with the girlfriend. It's got to be bad, mate.
It was
Don't
terrible.
let your missus hear you say that. But it has, Jason. Honestly, I've been. People keep saying, "Oh, what's gone wrong?" and all that, and I'm almost like, we're gonna have loads of stuff to do at the end of the season to pick the bones out of. It has been a poor show, but I'm trying to think. You've watched Leicester a long time. I can see, like me. There you go. I'm calling you a bit old, like me.
1989 was my first.
Well, there you go. See, you've seen some terrible stuff, but you've seen some great stuff. You've also, Jason, probably seen surprise results, and that's why I don't rule out that somewhere something could happen on Monday and we could beat Liverpool.
It's I mean that's the optimism in ourselves, but you know, but
I'm not sure I believe it, but I know it could happen.
I was looking at maybe going down to the last game against West Ham, having to get something against them being safe, and also maybe David Moyes playing a few reserves because they have the European final on the horizon. But I think come the West Ham game, we'll already be confirmed down, because I do not for the life of us see us getting anything against Liverpool and Newcastle. And by then, the other results will go against us again, and we'll be down by the time we play West Ham. That's the brutal honesty of it.
I can't go there yet, Jason. I can't go there. I guess yesterday I feel so low.
Yeah.
But by today I'm sort of like, oh, look, honestly, Leicester have done miracles. Not just winning the league or the FA Cup. I'm going back to, like you say, 89 and then the 90s. We've seen it. I've seen comebacks, and I keep expecting that Leicester side that can do a comeback to come back and beat Liverpool.
I mean, we made references to it before with regards to the Great Escape from 2014 and 15. We had players in that squad who were literally fighting tooth and nail to get themselves out of it and to survive that season. But we just haven't seen it this time. Again, go back to, if I was in the changing rooms, one thing I would say was that this here, back to front there, this badge here is always going to be here. You might come and go. You'll be gone by the end of the season, but at least give this a chance to remain in the Premier League, because that's where we belong.
Yeah. And I think that's part of it, isn't it? Do you remember Tony James?
Yep.
I'm trying to remember exactly what year he scored that famous goal for him. I think it was like in the late 80s, wasn't it? 89,
was that against,
like that.
Was that versus Oxford?
Yeah, scored that. We needed one goal to keep us up, so we didn't slip into the old Division 3, League 2 as it is now. Ross just said somebody could be a hero. We need a hero.
Yeah, we've got to have somebody step up to the plate. I mean,
I don't know if it's Dewsbury Hall. I don't know if it's Mendy. I don't know if it's Nacho coming back. I was hoping it was going to be Jamie Vardy, but again, it just doesn't. Yesterday when he missed that penalty, it's like, oh.
But then I said that about a couple of weeks ago when he'd scored 2 and 2 after being brought back by Dean Smith. Now it's like, Vardy was out in cold under Rodgers. Yeah, he's come back and he's almost rediscovered himself again. I mean, okay, he missed a penalty on Saturday. It wasn't quite his day, but we've seen glimpses of what Vardy used to be and what he can be. He's still got enough pace to frighten many a defender. You play to his strengths, he's going to get you goals. And you saw that the last couple of games. As I say, whatever happened I think a lot of people have said that Rodgers was just too stubborn. He was set in his ways, and for whatever reason, he just totally lost the dressing room. The players weren't playing for him. But then you look at the results since Rodgers has left, and I think part of the problem wasn't just Rodgers; it was the players as well. That, like you said, the players who are on their way out.
I agree. Scott says here, Jason, Vardy for the armband for the last 3 games. I've got to be honest, I wouldn't follow Yuri into battle at the moment. He's not playing very well. He's leaving the club. Why? I would just probably get him out of the team and say he ain't.
Yeah. So that's the thing as well. I mean, Yuri Tielemans has been leaving the club for the past 2 years, but nobody's ever come in for him. We haven't had a solid bid for him. Unless obviously there's teams waiting in the wings to get him on a free, which he will be in the summer.
Would you make Vardy captain?
I would, yeah. To be honest,
I would. I'd just say, look, Vardy, you are going to be here next year.
Yeah.
God knows if we'll be able to afford to pay him his wages next year if we're in the Championship, but
I doubt it very much.
and again, Adam says here, front 2 for the last 2 games.
Yeah.
It's do or die now, isn't it, Jason?
Well, it's been do or die for the past 6, 7, 8 weeks. It's been, it's getting desperate now. I mean, you look at the games to come, and you've been saying that we should. The Everton was a must-win. Fulham was a must-win. For the games for the have come and gone that have been must-win, but we haven't stepped up. And I think somebody made the dropped the stat earlier on that we haven't kept a clean sheet in 20 games.
Yeah.
And we've lost, is it 22 games now this season? 21, 22 games this season? We've lost over 20 games in this season of a 38-game season. No team who loses over 20 games a season even deserves to be in League One, never mind the Premier League.
No. Listen, Jason, thanks for your views, your comments.
No,
I know it's tough to come on. I really appreciate people like Jason, Ross, Imran all coming on. The link is there for anybody to come on So all these guys who come on and just say, sod it, I'll put my neck on the line. So thanks, Jason. Appreciate it, mate.
Cheers.
See you, mate. Great to have those views on. Great to get all your comments on. Adam says draws aren't enough now. I'd rather see them go for it with a front two and win or lose. I would. I think we're at that point now. I'd take Yuri off. I wouldn't have him. I'd put players who look like they want to play for Leicester, the likes of Mendy. I hope to goodness Iheanacho's fit and put two up top. And again, I'm being honest. If Dean Smith, if Shaky, if John Terry, if anybody from Leicester City, if Jim, any of them ever watched Leicester Fan TV, there's plenty of fans. There's hundreds of fans literally watching this live now. Thank you. Who would come on? We'd be able to send a couple of fans who would be polite and wouldn't be stupid and would just go in there and say to the players just before kickoff, listen to that noise that is going on outside and get yourselves up for this, because play with some passion and fight for the club, because you might not be here next year, or you might be here next year. You might be in the Championship. We might be in the, who knows? But these fans have to literally struggle, sweat, go to work, do 40, 50 hours a week, scrape together enough money to get down here and pay ridiculous amounts of money for a pint, for a burger, for parking, for a program, for the shirt. We're already selling off this year's shirts at next to nothing so that they can rip us off with next year's shirts. We'll go through that and we'll be here next year and we'll do it all again in the Championship or in League One. We've just proved we'll do that and we'll be back again. But the players just need to realise that when that post-horn gallop goes and they walk out into the King Power Stadium for 90 minutes, in our eyes, in 32,000 Leicester fans who are there and the other 100,000 fans who can't be there, for 90 minutes, they are living our dream. So act like it. Behave like you're living people's dreams rather than just taking a shed load of money, buying a fancy tracksuit and putting a photo on Instagram, because that is not, for me, what Leicester City is about. That's what I would probably say. So if anybody from the club wants Imran, wants Jason, wants Ross to come in, tell the players why for 90 minutes they need to put a little bit more effort in than what we've been seeing recently, then get in touch at Leicester Fan TV. Thanks everybody for your views. Thanks for all your comments. Can't do it without you. I still think we can beat Liverpool. We can do it. You know it. We've done it before. We've won the Premier League. Remember that. We've won the Premier League. 5,000 to 1. Dreams can come true. We can beat Liverpool. We can beat West Ham. We can even go to Newcastle and get something. It can still do it. I've got the faith. You've got the faith. Foxes don't quit. You're a fox. I'm a fox. I just would like to see some of those players be foxes for 90 minutes. I'm going for a lie down. See you later.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.